3rd of January, 2186. I've been trying to respond to different SOS calls from divers around the galaxy as best I can. I'm just doing my part for the war effort and on all fronts for spreading managed democracy. Recently, I went to Krimzika on the bug front to help some fellow divers out. I had my CE-07 demolition specialist armor and helmet on, with the Pillars of Freedom cape for this mission. We had to retrieve some valuable data from the planet for our main objective. Get the intel, download it to the database, and upload it to Super Earth via the nearby satellite uplink stations. At the time, I also knew that there was a mutant larva specimen in the area that they wanted us to retrieve and bring back for study and everything. I had along my newer CB-9 exploding crossbow from the Democratic Detonation War Bond I got a while back. I really haven't used some of this stuff much, but to not use the tools that we were given to spread managed democracy just seems so wrong in my eyes. Like, take the time, test stuff out, and have fun at the same time in the field with it. I think all Helldivers should use all weaponry to their best abilities. I will admit, shotguns for me are the one that I haven't touched the most. Some easy missions, stuff that I do solo, just getting to test them out. But one day I'm going to get a build and find out some better gear to bring with everything. Make myself a lot stronger with it. Work to balance it out and make it work out well. I had also brought along my P2 Peacemaker and the G123 thermite grenades as well. When I bring those thermites along, I don't worry about really any other anti-tank gear. However, I do recognize I need to be a little bit closer to the targets to stick them, but I make it work. I just watch myself, watch fellow divers, and try to aim properly for the targets every time I use them. By the time I got my gear and everything ready and landed, some of the divers had already taken out a shrieker nest in the area, and they were working on through different bug nests and stuff that I could tell. I dropped in, cleared the area where I'd fell in at, started getting my gear and everything ready. I had along my stalwart and a guard dog with me. The regular machine gun guard dog. I apologize. I'm not as proficient as Sir Garrett was when it came to a lot of the proper names. That's just not my style. I also brought along the machine gun and rocket sentries with me for just some extra firepower. It's machine gun especially just feels so solid to be able to use. And rocket sentries can be a huge benefit. I have noticed against the bugs, so you get a charger going at one of those suckers, and they usually can't take him down fast enough before he'll smash into it and take it out. Rocket sentries do a wonder versus the bots. They're always at range and keeping distance anyways, so it works. But after clearing the area, I finally found the larva, and I grabbed it, and I decided to bring it back to the extraction point right away, just not to drag it around the whole mission. This was kind of a lesson I had learned from another diver at one point, is if you can grab some of those samples, like some of the super rares especially, I know divers will grab those, the mutant larvas and stuff, they'll bring them right back to extraction and let them sit. I also learned that apparently, and I haven't validated this fully yet, but that larva can cause bugs to spawn right under your ass. It's like they know that you've got that larva with you, and they want to grab it and rip it off of your dead body before you can do anything with it. Rupture came through while dealing with it. We took care of the bugs, and I had an impaler that was a really good target for the thermite I had, so clearing them out with the ruptures, and I got the larva and dropped it off and headed back to start taking care of the other objectives in the area. We continued through the area, clearing out different bug nests. Some divers eventually found the CF artillery site, got that up and running. And I found a stalker nest that needed to be wiped out for sure. Stalkers are just goddamn annoying to be dealing with, I'm going to be honest. But Sir Garrett did tell me about being able to hear them, some clicking noise and stuff that they do, that hissing, and to look for that strange glisten, I'll call it, with their cloaking. it does help, but they're just still fucking annoying to deal with. I have found that the Liberator Concussive Rifle is actually a really great tool to use against them. And honestly, almost any of the bugs. Just being able to stun them for a moment for either just further firepower and shots from myself or fellow Helldivers to take them out. Now, the big boys, the Impalers, the Biles, Chargers, they don't react the same way, and you gotta heavier firepower is needed to take them out. That's just... I've tried, I failed. Thankfully, I've been able to survive those learning experiences, to say. As we progressed, and finally we called down and collected the SSD, the hard drive for the first part of our mission, just to get that stuff uploaded for Super Earth. Now, a little bit into this, I'm not going to lie, I forgot I had that stalwart on my back. I was using that crossbow, and I was pulling out my Peacemaker a lot more, and I just completely forgot it was even on my back. Thankfully, kind of got my head out of my butt and started using it for some managed democracy. Now, I'm embarrassed to say that, but in the heat of those moments and stuff, boy, you just get tunnel vision and just forget what the heck's going on and what you're doing, and it can be kind of a pain and interesting to just forget that stuff even exists on you. But you know what, we got the tools, we just need to remember to use them when we're out there in the field and on the missions. Everything to help us out spreading that managed democracy is, well, that's glory for Super Earth. So after uploading the data for the first part, I did find that stalker nest and fully took it out. Just get those damn assholes out of the area for us. And I believe that was about the time my fellow divers got that CF site up and running for that artillery. A diver had grabbed a hold of the SSD hard drive, collected it, and was heading toward the tower to send it back to Super Earth. So we were able to get that stuff uploaded and sent back for just that information and stuff that they need for Super Earth. Little rant for this. Ion storms are a pain in the ass to deal with. It sucks to be cut off from your super destroyers like that. It's just like you're on the field and you want to call in get some reinforcements down for fellow Helldivers, or you want to get your sentries down, or you need supplies and stuff like that. It's just, God, that storm just blocking all of that stuff can be such a pain, and it sucks. Thankfully, they don't last terribly long. They pass through the areas fairly quick. But for fellow Helldivers, if you're, just got to have a little patience. We want to call you in, get you down on the field with us for everything, but sometimes we just can't. And honestly, sometimes, I've talked to divers about this many times, they are so preoccupied with taking out enemies because we're trying to get clear landing zones for people, but it's difficult. Finally, uploaded the data. We got to the extraction site, taking out one last bug nest before we left. When the Pelican arrived, I grabbed the larva, we got in the Pelican, and we took off. Able to clear another area for Super Earth and manage democracy, so that was good. I am just continuing to do my best with being out in the field. To my fellow Helldivers, I'm not perfect by any means with stuff. We're doing our best with it. I'm not like some. I'm not betraying and taking out other Helldivers unless they are really, really with the enemy. But thank God I haven't run into that yet. But I just want people to know that I'm continuing to do my best. Going to continue to spread managed democracy and work towards Super Earth for my fellow Helldivers and for super citizens and for everyone. Let's just keep at this. We'll do this.